Dewo, good morning. Good morning to all of you, wherever you are. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to another episode of Untomato, the Nigerian word that means words of wisdom. These are words of wisdom that I share with you so you can add to your collection of words of wisdom, your repertoire. Today's session is the talking drum session, which is my discussion with you without the presence of another guest. You know, back in the day in my village of Nkuru, Nigeria, and to some degree, even now, when drums or the ikoro beats, people listen from far away. They could be at the farms or wherever they are, they pause to hear what is being said, what message is being communicated by the king or the queen or people in power or authority or the spiritual leaders, whatever. When we didn't have the internet to send emails, just the drums. When the ears are conditioned to understand what is being said and carry out the message accordingly. Usually during the talking drums, I read a letter from one of our viewers because participants are encouraged to write about something that they want me to talk about, something of interest to them. So what is of interest to you? I want to hear. Let's talk about it. Send letters to me to the intomodoshow@gmail.com. I look forward to sharing what matters to you with my audience, with your permission, of course. I want to read the letter that I got. Very fascinating letter from Louisiana, and it's from a lady who is having much difficulty with the state of mind of her sister, or her cousin actually. And I want to share it with you. And as a matter of fact, what we're going to talk about is based on this letter that I got. And the letter says, "Dear Dr. Osimiri, my cousin is annoying, but let me tell you why. She works too much and gets fed up and messed up when her routine is broken. She's very hardworking and makes enough money to buy Gucci everything. Everything is Gucci. However, recently she lost a contract that was supposed to give her plenty of money. She now is verbally abusive because she feels that she's on the downhill side of life. She's now paranoid and have recurring bouts with self-doubts and self-defeat, with moments of depression because she just can't accept this loss of revenue. She is panicking so much and slouches around, not even bathing or brushing her teeth. I asked her to watch this show today. I hope she does because I am really quite tired of hearing her complain about everything." That's interesting. Now, let me tell you, one of the good things about Valley experiences is that they remind us to take off our superwoman capes for just a minute, our Superman capes for just a minute. It's not to say that you can't go back to what you used to be. It's not to say that that coat cannot come back, the cloak cannot be worn again. It simply means that we recognize the need to rest, to stop, to be still, to regroup, to refocus. Being in the valley reminds us that, we can't do work, we can't do everything, we can't handle crisis, we can't handle issues and ourselves at the same time. So many of us have problem saying no to anything. We just want to do everything. We want to save the world. We don't know how to say no. So we just keep going and keep going and keep going until life decides to tell us to stop. And when life decides to tell us to stop, we've got to stop. We've got to take a break. Just for a minute. Just for a while. Since many of us have this problem of saying no, we have to remember that we're not alone in this universe. Divine mind is watching. And divine mind knows when you're climbing, you're falling off the cliff. And because you're falling off the cliff, you have to be slowed down. Think of it this way. If your sister had a broken leg, she would not be running a marathon. If she had a cold, she would not walk in the rain. Yet when we are tired and confused and overwhelmed or just plain fed up, we often do not know how to stop. We just do more. We just keep working even harder. We don't know when it's time to say no. We don't know when it's time to just take a break. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in one full swoop, you can do it in a week or two. Whatever that problem is, it will stay there until you're ready for it. We don't have to do everything at the same time. And that is what life does. That's what happens. Life just puts you in the valley. So you can stop because you don't know how to stop. I tell you, I don't have the time. I mean, I'm always going until sometimes things that I want to achieve just don't go the way I want it. Do I get frustrated? Yes. Do I get angry? Yes. But it never stops divine mind from putting me in the valley to say, hey, you know what? You got a big hole in your cape. You can't fly right now. You're grounded. You're forced to go within. Stop flying around and doing and giving and trying. At some point, you got to stop. Now, you're talking about your sister. Your sister should not resist this blessed opportunity to mend her mind and body or spirit, even though she didn't get the contract. That's not the last contract that she'll ever get. Life is just telling her, okay, slow down. Think about something different. Time to just slow down. Put the shades down. Close the blinds. Turn off your engine. Instead of flying around with that cape, use it to cover yourself. She needs to use it to cover herself and just take a nap. Because you see, whatever it is that we think we must achieve today, it'll be there tomorrow. Trust me, that's life. It will be there tomorrow. It'll be there waiting for you. You don't have to get it all done in one day. Again, divine mind will slap you down. Or you're going to get angry. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get upset. But if you can't do it today, you can do it tomorrow. You can handle it when you have rested, when you are stronger. Everything can wait. And all those things that can't wait, won't wait, well, they will not be there for you to handle. You handle it. If not today, tomorrow. If it's gone away, hey, you don't have to deal with it. Slowing down is so important because it helps you to reevaluate things you must do, people around you, those around you who are helping you or may not be helping you. It gives you the opportunity to reassess. Look around, become a little bit more attentive. When you're so busy moving right, left, front, center, you're just moving. You can't see little important things just fly right by you. And that's quite frankly, that's what makes you so upset. Because you're so sure, you're so focused on the negative thing that did happen. Because you're chasing all of this stuff. You're trying to fly faster than the wind. You're not seeing things around you that you're missing. So by slowing down to notice things, you make a difference in the lives of people that love you, your connections, of moments, quality interactions. If you slow down, there is nothing that you want that you cannot have. But you just may not be able to have it at the moment that you want it. Your anger, your frustration, your lashing out, your blaming people is because you're so busy trying to get to where you can't get at the moment. Then you lash out to people, at people. You blame people for your condition in the world because you're too fast. You're not getting it. Like your sister. She's not getting it. She's busy trying to buy Gucci. If she doesn't have Gucci money at the moment, she may have it tomorrow. But she needs to slow down and find out what happened. What happened to the contract? Why did she lose the contract? It may well be that the people who offered her the contract, they don't have that anymore. May not even have anything to do with her. She may think it's something she did wrong, but it may not be. But if she's so busy, so focused on getting, and is not evaluating what may have caused the situation, it may happen again. Everything that happens to us is not designed to make us angry, to disrupt our lives. No. Some of these things are so important. They're part of living. How do you know what's right if you haven't experienced what's wrong? How do you know what you want when you have not experienced what you don't want? All of those are lessons along the way. That's why it's called life. Life is a journey. It is not a destination. You'll never get there until you're 6 feet in the ground. That's really the destination. But life is the journey, the excitement of living, what you discover, the discoveries, the people you meet, the things you get to do. That's life. That is what life is about, not the end state. Because quite frankly, people who become extremely rich, they're still looking for more money because there's never any satisfaction with where you are. You have to keep going. But sometimes to get beyond where you are, you've got to slow down, particularly when Mother Nature, when divine mind slaps you down, you can't fight that. Because when divine mind makes up her mind that you're going too fast, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how angry you are, you're going to stay in that valley. If you want to come out of that valley, take a break. Take a moment. Reassess. Ask questions. Why did this happen? How can I do it better? What happened? What caused it? What would happen if I don't get it right? What are my systems? What's the new way of dealing with things? What am I going to start applying? What are my objectives now? And if I discover my objectives, how am I going to implement them? Through what means? And then you have to assess what are all the opportunities that are in front of you. Which ones are best? Which ones should you use? Which ones should you let go? And if you discover maybe two that you can work on, find out which one is most pertinent. And then you grab that one that's most pertinent, the one you know for a fact that you can work on and that will take you out of the valley. That's the one that you go for. But if you get angry all the time, every time that life happens to you, you will never discover which way to go. You will never discover which direction to go. As long as you are upset about everything that happens to you, you will never get out of the valley. Check your cloak. Superwoman, Superman, check your cloak. If it's got a hole in it, it's for a purpose. So you can't fly. Divine mind says you can't fly today. You have to slow down. And the worst thing we do is when we're in the valley, instead of trying to find how to get out of it, what caused it, we want to blame somebody. It's always easy to blame somebody. There always has to be an enemy. There always has to be a cause of a reason for what happened to you, but sometimes it has nothing to do with somebody that you're blaming. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and blame yourself. What decisions have you made? Why am I in the valley? What decisions have I made that has caused me to be here? It is not Jane's fault or Paul's fault or Hillary's fault. It could be your fault. So when you find yourself in a place in the valley, start thinking not about what or whom you're going to disparage, who you're going to get angry with, but how you're going to get out of it. You see, when you're down, you can't go any lower. When you're down in life, you can really not go any unless you're 6 feet under, unless you're dead, you can't go any lower. The only other way is up. But you can't get up if you're not a thinking human being. I'm reminded what Daniel Benvenuto, a psychotherapist and energy healer, said something about why it's important for meditations, mindfulness meditations. why we must slow down, because slowing down yields so much better result for all of us. You know, sometimes working extra, doing a whole lot more. Some young people say you're doing the most. It may make you feel that you're doing something, you're being productive. But what it does is it leads to your burnout. It leads to a place where you don't need to be. Your body is sacred. Your body you're not a machine. Sometimes your body can't take anymore. And I don't mean just the physical body, the mental. And all of us do experience it at some point in our lives. And once you get to a burnout level, you will find that you're going to have a whole lot of difficulty getting out of the valley. You're going to stay there because you're burned out. You didn't listen when divine mind put you in the valley so you can think. You were so busy blaming other people, getting angry, and you stay in the valley. You're too tired, too exhausted, too mentally gone. You can't get out of it. So you have to slow down. I have to slow down. I find myself doing so much all the time. But I have to tell myself, you quite frankly, you all should know this. You are your best therapist. There are some therapists, of course. Many, obviously, the reason why they're called therapists and professionals is because they went to school to learn specific things. But they don't really know. I don't care what you say to a psychotherapist or a professional. They don't have your experience. When you share your experience, then they try to use that experience and match it to theories and come up with answers. But you are the one experiencing it. You know what you're experiencing. And if you will just slow down, if you talk to yourself, you can become your own therapist. Now, I'm not suggesting by any means that you shouldn't seek help. Of course, that's what they're there for. That's what therapists are there for. But what is important, however, is that you know that you are your own best therapist. If you will slow down, if you will take the time to move at a gentler pace. Slow down. Tomorrow will come by God's grace. Slow down. It doesn't mean that you should not. It doesn't mean you should procrastinate. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do any work. Slowing down doesn't mean that. Slowing down just means that you should just pause. Because when you're going fast, you're not observing much. There's an absence of observation. You don't know what's going on around you. And sometimes you become indifferent to what's going on. But if you slow down, you understand what life is all about. So instead of you burning yourself out, instead of you getting to the point that you're disgusted, you're angry, and you're pushing forward when you should be slowing down, you find that slowing down means that you don't have to have instant gratification. Your gratification can come later. Don't look at what is down the road. Sometimes your preconceived notions tell you what should be down there, what you should be going after. And it's that feisty, that fervor to go after that something that's down the line, down the road. That's what causes you to get tired. That's what causes your anxiety, your depression, and whatever else. We are always told to have a goal, set goals, and go after those goals with all your capacity. But it has to be measured. How you go after those goals must be measured. It's imperative that you take the time to figure out at what point during this pursuit of your goal that you slow down. That you understand that if you keep going at the rate you're going, that you are going to burn out. And that you shouldn't get angry when you're forced to slow down. When you're forced to walk at a gentle pace. Don't get angry. Because being observant, taking things slow, listening, learning, it has more chances of making your goals and dreams become possibilities. Always be open-minded, even in the middle of your challenge. Before you take your next step, wait. Listen. Observe before you start doing anything. Sometimes when we are experiencing challenges, we think that we're on shaky ground. Now, I don't know how about some of you who may have ended up in the hospital and they had to force you to go into a coma because your body is just running wild. As your body runs wild, they have to slow it down. And that's pretty much the same thing with life. You don't even have to be in the hospital to be put in a coma. Sometimes life will put you in a life coma so that you can pause, rewind. Remind yourself that your journey, where you're trying to go, has value. What is the value in your journey? Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to achieve? Who are you trying to impress? If your journey involves just impressing others, you're going to be fatigued. Yes, it's important to impress others to some degree, but if that's all you're pushing for, and you're not looking at, okay, how do I heal me? How do I anchor myself so I'm not running too fast? If you're not stopping and taking stock of that, if you're not slowing down, you are going to, quite frankly, fail. When all is said and done, you will. You will not emerge victorious because your focus is on this journey. I've got to get there. I've got to get there. I think I can. You become the low engine that can. I think I can. I've got to reach the top. I'm sure I can. I don't know how many of you know that little children say, I must not stop. That's what the low engine said. You think you're an engine that cannot stop. You may have a vision and you get on that track and you just want to, I've got to get to the sky. I've got to get to the top. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. But you got to stop sometimes. And that's why you're in the valley. You're not in the valley because you're a bad person. You're not in the valley because of what someone else did to you. You're in the valley because you're not taking stock of why you have to slow down. When you're in the valley, you're a little bit more present. You're more alert. You should be more sensitive and mindful about what to do next. The valley is not a negative place. It shouldn't be a dirty word. It allows you to move graciously. It allows you to think. So any one of you right now that's in the valley, this message is for you. Don't look at it as something bad. Take stock of where you are in your life. And if you find that the valley is trying for you, make sure that you're able to connect to somebody that you can talk to. Now I caution you, do not talk to people who just gossip with you. Okay, because they're not helping you get anywhere. They're just helping you rehash what's frustrating for you. It's preferable to talk to those who would tell you where you can go. Seek a therapist, if you will. Talk to yourself in the mirror first before you do that. Because quite frankly, it's important. If you're going to see a therapist, make sure you know what you're going to say to them that's wrong. If you haven't taken stock of what's wrong, you're going to go to them and just start rambling. And you're leaving it up to them to figure out what's wrong with you. So when you find yourself in the valley, before you seek attention, before you seek somebody's intervention, find out first from yourself. What is wrong? Then you can connect with others. Connect with others Emotionally, it is important because it reorients you back to the present, being in the moment. But I always caution, don't reorient yourself with the thoughts of people who are confused themselves. Misery loves company, but it doesn't need your company today. If you're in the valley, you're trying to climb out, not stay there with people already in the valley. They are still struggling to find themselves. And you just that happy medium that comes and sings kumbaya with them and share your frustration and your anger and all of that, and you all cry together, and after that, nothing. So it's good to have a shoulder to cry on, but don't stay in the valley with that one shoulder. You got to seek others. Take the time, your pace, lower your pace. Find those that are trustworthy friends. When you're feeling miserable and vulnerable, but don't reach out to friends who are there with you. Trust me on that. You don't need to reach out to those who are in the valley, because they're trying to get out of the valley themselves. Now you can talk to people in the valley, but let it be to encourage them how to climb out, not to just share and cry together. You want new possibilities to emerge for you. And it can emerge when you speak to the right people. When you speak to the right people. It's good to have therapy. Absolutely good to have therapy. But be prepared. Know what you need therapy for. You can't just go and say, "Oh, I need therapy," but you don't even know what it is your problem is. You see, I'm not trying to put down those who have challenges, because God knows we all do. But I'm just saying, while you're in the valley, it is time for reassessment, reevaluation, how to climb out of the valley. When I say reach out to people, I mean reach out to people that you see that seem to be doing well, that seem to be overcoming challenges. Find out how they're doing it. Now, if you have an individual in your life who's challenged as well, it is not about having, crying together. It's about sharing together. Okay, how are we going to get out of this? I know you're having challenges. I'm having challenges. How are we going to get out of this? But you don't just complain to each other and then that's it. Set your goals and let the person that you're communicating with, who may be in the valley with you, let them set their goals as well. Let them tell you what they're trying to do, where they want to go, and you become each other's help. But if you must go to a therapist, as I indicated earlier, talk things out to yourself. Write down 10 things that upset you, possibilities while you're in the valley. Write those down so that when you go to your therapist, it's easy to have communication because you know what the issues are. And you can tell your therapist, this is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. This is what has caused it for me. Now, your therapist may take you back and give you another perspective that you may not have looked at. But the important thing is that you are aware what your issues are. You know why you're in the valley, but you don't know how to get out of it. And that's why you have to assess why you got there. Stop blaming people for your condition in the world. Nobody has to be in the valley with you. And being in the valley, like I said earlier, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity to regroup and move out and move forward and climb the mountaintop. But you got to slow down. Otherwise, you keep being knocked. A divine mind has a way of slowing us down, as I said earlier, and will keep slowing you down, keep knocking you down until you get it, until you start assessing what's going on in your life. The other thing is that you always have to be grateful for what you already have in your life. I think sometimes we just bellyache about the condition we're in presently, and we forget that there are so many positive things that are going on in our lives but we don't take stock of those. If you have breath, you're blessed beyond measure. If there are people who are doing things for you or giving you joy or letting you know that you matter, be grateful for that. Many don't have that. When you go down the street and you see homeless people, they don't have that support. So if you have a home to go to, you have a car to drive, you have food to eat, that's where you start. Thank you for what I do have. Never mind what I'm trying to get, but for what I do have, I am so grateful. You have, whether you understand it or not, you are abundantly blessed. Inhale and exhale and tell me how you feel. You are alive. You know, all of us want to get old. The only reason why people get angry when they're old is because of the aches and the pains and all the unpleasant things that happen. I'll turn that off. Sorry. All the unpleasant things that happen to us. You see. So if you're not taking stock of your blessings, you're always going to feel that you don't have enough. That you always feel that you're in the valley. If you're in the valley, there's a reason for being there. But even while you're in the valley, take stock of things to be grateful for. There are amazing things that are going on in your life that you're not paying attention to because you're so focused on what you don't have. You're so angry and blame everything and everyone for your condition in the world, but you don't see all the beauty you have. Take stock of those. Take stock of what you do have. You may not have money in the bank account, but there are billionaires today that will trade your empty bank account for your heart. There are billionaires that will trade your empty bank account for your lungs, for your kidneys. People are losing their lives because rich people are dying and they need parts of the body. Be grateful where you are. If you're grateful and you show gratitude, your blessings shall flow. More blessings will come to you, but you've got to be grateful. The law of attraction. What you put out there, how you think, what your mind focuses on, attracts what will come to you. That's the law of attraction. It is so important, and I can't overstate that you understand that where you are is perhaps where you're supposed to be. You may disagree, but where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. You may want to be elsewhere, but that's not where divine mind wants you to be. Gente, listen up. Listen to the words. There's an African proverb that says, if you listen inwardly, you hear the footsteps of the ants. That is divine mind talking to you, telling you what you need to know. And that running up and down, trying to achieve everything at one time is not important. What's important is that you have breath, you have life, you're able. See, as long as you can breathe, as long as you have life, you can do it again. What you seek, so shall you find. If you're not cheerful, you can find it. You will get it. But you've got to slow down. And while you're at it, stay in that valley. Stay in the valley for a little bit. Stay there until you feel better. Stay there until you understand that life is about experiencing the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Wealth is a powerful thing to have. The young woman who's freaking out, excuse the expression, because she can't buy any more Gucci. She's not going to be buried with Gucci. And heck, Gucci is somebody's name. Create your own brand. Do something with your life. Owning Gucci and owning all those things, that doesn't define you. And if that's what's bringing her down, then she's going to be in the valley for a long time because she will never be satisfied. Because even the rich keeps chasing after money. The satisfaction in life is not what you get in the immediate. Sometimes it's what you can look forward to. But you can't look forward to anything positive if you are stuck on now. I've got to have it now. I've got to have it now. If I don't have it now, look at my friend. My friend has this. My brother has this. My sister has this. Can I have what they have? Why can't I have what they have? Oh my God, woe is me. Life in the valley is not altogether a bad thing. Life in the valley, sometimes it's so helpful. I want to read some of the comments I got from Brooke Berlin Baxter. Anxiety always has a way of making you feel rushed, like you're running out of time. That's right. We get anxious, but what's causing anxiety? What is causing our anxiety? Sometimes the anxiety is a result of what we think we have to do that we don't really have to do, or what expectations people have of us. That's not our own expectation for ourselves, but because we value people and what they think about us, we rush about to please them. There's nothing wrong with pleasing people. There's nothing wrong with that. But not at the point that you stay in the valley because you're so stressed out, you're knocked down, dragged out, and you can't do any better. But, you know, my advice to anybody, and to myself as well, because I don't do that frequently, and I should. Take a day that belongs to you. Take a day and stay in the valley. Slow down. Don't do anything. Grab a cup of coffee, get a good book, or watch a couple of movies, whatever. Anything that slows you down, or just read a book, or just sit in a corner and contemplate. You know, I love to do gardening. I love gardening with a passion. And every time that I see leaves and anything out of line in my garden, I go and I want to straighten it out. I want everything to be just perfect. That's my habit. And then when I don't feel very well or up to it, and I go outside and I see the things are not as perfect as I want it, then I'm stressing myself out. How can I feel better so I can go and do it? One day I was out there cleaning, and this gentleman who was walking his dog, he says, your garden looks beautiful, but you do know something. It's really a waste of time. It's hot. You need to go and relax somewhere and leave this. It's going to be here tomorrow. And he walked away. Initially, I thought, why don't you just mind your business? This is my property. I do what I wish to do. But at the end of the day, I was exhausted. It was very hot. And when I came into the house and took a shower, I was gone. I was just absolutely knackered. But he was right. In the heat of the sun, I've got to get it all right. Everything has to be perfect. It's hot out there. It took a man walking a dog to remind me what's important. That yard can wait. Certain things that we take into heart, things that we think we must do, they can wait. Now, some things can't wait, yes, but a lot of things can. So that's where assessing comes into play. Assess what you're doing. Assess, do I have to do it right now? Is it something I can wait and do later? Does it have to happen today? And if it doesn't happen today, what's going to happen? Am I going to die because of it? No. You just get up next day and try again. Life in the valley is not altogether bad. It is a time to slow down and reconnect. Reconnect with your mind, reconnect with God, reconnect with whatever makes you happy. The reconnection is important. And when you start climbing back out of that valley, let me say this to you. When you begin to climb out of the valley, you're not going to please everybody, because there's a new you that's going to be emerging. And people are going to start wondering, who does she think she is? Yesterday, she was acting like the world had fallen on her. And here she is, all of a sudden, she's all boisterous and all full of life and full of pep, while they're still in the valley. They're going to wonder, why are you feeling the way you are? And the only reason why you're coming out is because you have decided to make a change. You have decided not to blame other people for your condition in the world. You've decided that you are going to take a different tact. You've decided that you're going to look and see what's around you and be cognizant of what's going on. You have taken stock of who you are. Or maybe you have even decided that you're going to go and speak to a therapist or somebody. But a new you is going to emerge when you leave the valley. It's not going to be the same you. It's going to be a whole new person. Now, that's the person that people may love or not love. Once bitten, twice shy. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and think that you're going to get a different result. So if you are beginning to look at life differently, look outward. Because this new person who is emerging is going to do different things differently. It's going to be a different person, a new person to contend with. You're going to be a happier person. You're going to be a happier company. Your family is going to appreciate you more. Your children will appreciate you more. Your parents will appreciate you more. Your siblings will appreciate you more. Your friends will appreciate you more. People around you in your world will appreciate you more. Those who love you. Like I said earlier, you're going to have those who are going to want to hold you, hold your feet. Come back in this valley. Stay with us. We don't want you to go further. Stay with us. You belong here with us. No, you do not. Once you're in that valley and you have done the right thing, you've reassessed, you've prepared yourself for the next step, for the next journey, don't look down. Don't look down. And remember, people are going to throw stones at you. Oh, yes, they will. When you leave the valley and you're climbing up the mountaintop, people are going to say, come back here. You're not what you think you are. Let them throw stones, my darlings, because guess what will happen? The stones will fall on their heads. This is called gravity. And it will hit them on your way up. So you don't look down. Once you are climbing out, once you have decided that your life is going to change, that you're going to do things differently, don't look down. Don't allow people to hold on to you. And that's what we do. We think we want to leave. Okay, I've learned my lesson. But then they'll pull and pull and pull and pull you right back in the valley. And you're there again. And then you'll find somebody to blame for being there. Last time I played a video. And this video is about the IDPS. This is the internally displaced people in Maiduguri, Nigeria. This is my philanthropic work, African Women Mobilization Commission. We are doing a fundraising to help people who are unfortunately living in camps in Maiduguri. And then we also have individuals who are living in organizations, in facilities for people who are struck by leprosy. So we are raising money to help those individuals. And we're asking again that you support our GoFundMe, and that it is right there. Please take that information down. There are people right now living in the valley these IDPS camps, and they can't come out of it without help. They need a little bit help. There are some of us who can go in the valley and come out of it, and there are some people who can't. So let me play this video back for those of you who have not seen it, and those who are not joining us today, they will see it because they will replay this. It is so important that we be kind to those less fortunate than we are, those who are not able to get out of the valley on their own. And I'll play this video and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Hello, Queen Mother. As you can see, we are here in Osimiri camp, the first camp. Today is the first day of our cooking program. Today is the first day of our cooking program for the IDPs. So we are here for the distribution. Thank you, ma. Zainab is here to carry out all the other activities. Thank you. One.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I want to, first of all, I really, truly want to thank all those who have contributed, because quite a bit of you have done so, and we are very appreciative of your consideration of this grant funding for the IDPS. And the numbers are growing, sadly to say. The young children, we still have a few new deaths because obviously, unfortunately, the feeding is not yet consistent. We're still trying to raise more money so we can save lives. So we really, really appreciate you participating, going to our fundraiser page, and you can visit the African Women Commission.net. We have information about the fundraiser there, and that is the organization of which I'm president, and that we are the ones responsible for the fundraiser. So you can go there. If you want to speak with me, Dr. Osimiri.com, visit me there and learn about all that I do and how I can help you, because I'm a life coach. When I talk about you needing a life coach, you can certainly contact me there. And I'm on Twitter at Owa Osimiri. So please, you can follow me there on Twitter. You can also follow me on TikTok or at Owa Osimiri. And if you want to get in touch with me by email, you can contact me at the Ndumado Show at gmail.com. As I indicated earlier, I take letters that are written to me by members of my audience, and I respond to them. So I would like to hear from you. I'd like to know what you think about, what is of interest to you, where do you want to go in life, what makes you happy, what doesn't. I'm also excited to announce, I think I announced it last time, that I also have my workshop. I have a workshop that's coming up. It's entitled Stepping into My Power, or rather, Stepping into Your Power, on July the 30th, 2022 at 10 a.m. If you visit AfricanWomenCommission.net, you'll get more information about the workshop. This is a powerful workshop. You want to be a part of this workshop. You want to be there. Don't be left out. We're going to talk about what it means to step into your power, because many of us are powerful, but we don't know how to step into it, and we let everybody just thread all over us. And so I want to talk to you about what it means to have your power back in your hands, and you be the responsible person pulling all the levers. So again, that is July 30th, 2020 at 10 a.m. That's a wonderful time. And it's from 10 to 12 noon. So we're going to have some really nice discussions. I'm going to play some really interesting videos that will talk, that will share what it means to be. It's going to be visual. You're going to have an opportunity to write down certain key points that you should have, and also be introduced to some people who have risen to the call to step into their power, where they were before and how they are doing right now. So could that be you? Could you be one person who has been struggling to find your power, and all of a sudden you find it? Well, if you don't know how to, after this, I can't assume that nobody understands what their power is, but just in case you didn't, at the end of my workshop, you should be able to understand. Okay, so you have to visit AfricanWomenCommission.net for more information. That is a workshop I specifically do for the African Women Mobilization Commission, Women Empowerment Series. I also do a workshop. It's called You Are Not Bound by Yesterday, on forward. That's on Dr. O. So visit drosimiri.com, where you can learn a little bit more about that particular workshop. That will be August the 27th. But if you go to www.drosimiri.com, you will learn a little bit more about that particular workshop. All right. So we're doing exciting things. We're having exciting conversations that's supposed to motivate you, move you from one point to the other. If you're in the valley, we want to kick you up to the mountaintop, because sometimes we need a little help. Granted, sometimes we need a little help. And my goal is to be of assistance to you in that manner, to that regards, right? And again, I am looking forward to your letters. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. Write me on the power speaker at gmail.com. The power speaker at gmail.com. Oh, and you can follow me on Instagram as well. I'm on Instagram.com, the power speaker. You can follow and see what is going on there. The Ndomodu show, again, I'm sorry, not the power speaker. In terms of getting in touch with me, you contact me, the Ndomodu show at gmail.com. That's where you send your letters, the Ndomodu show at gmail.com. And also, I want to encourage you, if you can't make any donations for our fund, for the fundraiser, do send it to somebody else. Send it to, you never know. You never know who may be, if you're not in the position to do anything, just because you have compassion for your fellow human beings, you may know somebody. Okay, you can direct to that, to our fundraiser, so that people can help and make sure that these people are fed. And in the eastern part of Nigeria, we're working with people with handicaps and people in the leper colonies. So there's so much work, philanthropic work we do, and we want you to be a part of that. There's nothing more fulfilling than knowing that you've been the cause and the reason for change in somebody's life. But I want to go back to what we talked about, and that is you. You are important. Look at yourself. Take stock of who you are. Don't allow other people to define you or speak for you. And when you find that life has just knocked you down, when you find that Mother Nature, however you refer to the Creator, has brought you down to a level where you can become a little bit more subdued in your activities, a little bit less erratic in what you're doing, don't get upset about it. Don't get mad about it. Don't just live your life being angry about where you are. Where you are is trying to teach you something. The good thing is that if you take stock of what life is trying to say to you, if you actually take the time to do better, you will do better. Maybe not overnight, but it is in that moment that you take time to slow down and start taking stock of your life. That is when you change. That is when good things happen for you. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am thanking you for joining me on this show, and we will have another exciting show for you next week. Thank you so very much, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Good day.